Hey everyone, how's it going? I have not done a live stream in a little while, and I thought, hell, why not? So here it is. I know that I'm already demonetized. I'm already demonetized right now, so I don't care about saying hell. You got this really bright light here, but hopefully this is good for the video and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this is late at night. If nobody shows up, then I'll just turn it off and delete this. But I'm hoping that I'll get some people to pop in and say hello. It's been a little while since I've communicated with you guys on the channel, and I mean, I try to stay current with comments and all that kind of stuff, but if we can have some back and forth, it'd be cool. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. I'm so excited. Thank you. I don't really have any plan for what we're going to do, but I just wanted to get in here and say hello, and this is like the closest I get to interacting with you guys live, at least right now. And, you know, I'm not going to VidCon or anything like that. I'm not big enough to have any kind of convention or anything, but eventually I'd like to have that. But right now we get to hang out on here, and I'm really excited. I've been waiting to say hello to you guys for a little while, so I'm really excited. Let me move this camera. I think, forgive me, because this is going to be a little shaky, okay? But I want to get this camera in a better spot. That's got my computer or my video stuff on it, so maybe not. Maybe I'll just leave it here. And I'll move the this. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I will. Can I do that? Oh, I don't know. Can I do it? Yes, we can. Bob the Builder. Yeah, I want to be able to look at the camera while I'm talking to you guys, but I have two different screens here, and so I want to make sure I'm doing whatever. So I got some different stuff coming up this week, this Thursday, and it should be pretty dang cool. It's a different kind of video. It's a different flavor from some of the other stuff I've done. I've done quite a few tutorials, and you know, I think, you know, I just kind of bounced around and went, hey, you know, this would be cool to teach. This would be cool to teach. I'd like to teach that. But the more I do it, the more I realize that I should really be using that as a way to teach techniques or ideas in magic, and then be able to push that along further. Hey, if you guys are here, looks like my YouTube thingy is telling me that there's 4 people here. So if you're here, say hello. I want to talk to you. If you have any questions about anything, this is the time to do it. I can answer you in real time, and you don't have to read some kind of convoluted text. And if I don't make sense, you can say I don't, and then I can explain better. But this video that I have this week is really different. It's going to be about one of my favorite tools. One of the things I use with me all the time, and it's not a magic thing, but it is something that I take with me every gig, and I never leave the house without it. So I hope you enjoy the video. It's a little bit of a different flavor. I don't know. We'll see how it works. Hopefully you guys are into that, and we'll find it cool. Let me ask you here, because I've got 4 people here. I want to ask y'all, if you've been watching my videos, do you know, excuse me, do you know or have you noticed that I've been doing some more commercial stuff? Been doing a little bit of marketing stuff, I want to call it. I don't know. Been doing that. I have the Audible sponsorship now, which is great, which is really cool. And of course, been doing affiliate marketing for a little while. And now I have these nifty T-shirts. Woohoo! Buy one, make me rich. Probably not, but I want to try to do some more stuff on this channel, but I just have a cash flow problem. There's all kinds of places I want to visit, and magicians I want to get interviews with, and types of videos that I want to do. Like, one of them is I want to be able to do a live video where I go either at a gig or just walk around the street or whatever and get a video of me actually interacting, and then kind of go through it like director's commentary style and go, here's why this worked, here's where I sucked. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I've been doing sponsor plugs. Yeah, I mean, I feel kind of dirty doing them, but you know, aside from doing a Patreon or something like that, which I really don't want to do right now, it's a way that I can make some money for the channel, which will fund other stuff. Right now, I don't really have any excess cash to put into the YouTube channel, which I don't like, and so I want to be able to reinvest into bigger and better projects, but I can't do that until I have some money. So I feel ugly doing it, but kind of have to. I kind of have to. I'm at a point now where I've got like 3,037 subscribers, something like that, and you guys are watching me every week and waiting for. How much can it cost to walk around? Well, that's free, Ben. Hiring a camera person to come out and follow me around. That's the hard part. I could walk around, but and I tried to figure out all these things, like maybe I could get a chest mount, or I've looked at DJI Osmos to like wear on my vest, so that way it's following me around. But really, to get the best quality and to get something that looks tolerable, I need to hire somebody to follow me around with a camera. This is not the kind of thing where I can just have a buddy or something film me if they don't know what they're doing with the camera. It's not gonna. I've tried it already, and it looks like garbage. So I've got to hire somebody who actually knows what they're doing to get the good sound, good all that stuff. So, well, thanks, It. I'm trying to make it work as part of the video. It feels weird because I don't, truth be told, I mean, a lot of what I do in my magic career is actually doing stuff like, I've trained a lot with for trade shows, being able to do stopping and informing or infotaining people for trade shows, and doing like marketing messages part of my stage show, or even doing walk around, like, hey, the magic of Coca-Cola or whatever company it is. And that's always felt natural, but I don't know, it feels a little bit different because you guys are coming to me from a different standpoint, from a different perspective here, where I do these videos out of a want to share what I've learned and what I've gathered over the last 12 years working professionally. And I just see a lot of people get hung up on certain things, especially when they're trying to just jump into magic, or even people who've been in magic for a long time that just don't seem to be able to put some of the pieces together because they don't perform enough to have been kicked in the teeth enough to learn a better way to do it. And I wanted to be able to create a channel where I was sharing that kind of stuff. That's why I say taking tricks and turning them into real magic. That's the whole point, is to get away from just how does the machination of this effect work, and go into some more higher level stuff, I guess, like the actual theater of magic, or the philosophy, or the science, or the psychology of magic, and why it affects people the way it does, and how we can maximize our ability to amaze and entertain with the tools that we have. But the tricks are just the tools. They're not the end result. And I think that if you take all the pieces, they equal greater than the sum of their parts. And that's really what I wanted this channel to be about. And that's what I really care about. Yeah, you notice I do those director's commentaries with Scam Nation. I'm trying very hard to make sure that I'm expanding upon wherever I can and give additional information or help or thoughts or whatever I can, just beyond the machinations of the trick. Brian has a great format, and it's very popular, and it works great, and I'm a big fan of his and his work. But because of the format that he has, he's kind of now expected to. Hey, well, Ben, great, thank you. I'm so glad. I have a story about that. Don't let me forget, okay? But to have these, they're little vignettes. They're like, hey, here's how to do this trick. Here's how to look like the most badass person in the room, and that's great. But that's exactly what he's going for. And for me, I'm going to take these off. For me, I love that part of it, and I love being able to get people excited about magic, and just going, screw it. I think I'm going to learn this. This looks pretty neat. I think I could do that. Let me give it a try. And getting people past that part, and then going, okay, well, shoot, it either went great, and why did it go great, or it didn't go very good at all, and what do I need to fix it? What pieces am I missing that I can't conceive of? So that's why I really, that's what I wanted this channel to be about, was that stuff too. You notice my videos that I have on, like, oh shoot, like my method guessers, like the top 3 ways to deal with method guessers, or the golden rule of magic. I have some other ones in the pipeline, but these are designed to kind of dig deeper and talk about some of the parts that nobody really ever talks about on YouTube. Also, I wanted to be a little bit different in that I wanted to bring up something that happened recently. I just did the Cy Stebbins tutorial this past Thursday. that came out concurrently with the Scam Nation episode. And I had a gentleman by the name of Alex who had left a comment saying that he believed that what I was doing was exposure and that I needed to rethink my position on uploading the video. And him and I had a chat in the comments, and we stated our points and everything. And what was so cool is it's the first time on the internet ever that I've had a civil discourse with somebody on the internet. And it turned out where I was able to establish my position, argue my point, and kind of get him over on my side. And that was really nice. And I had a wonderful, respectful conversation with him about our differences. And it was respectful and wonderful. And I absolutely love that. And I want to lift that up as an example of what I want this community to be, where instead of we're just all ready to go, oh, you're dumb, or you don't know what you're talking about, or this method's better, or this or whatever, to make it a place where we can actually be a community, like an actual community, where we're helping each other out and we're lifting each other up. And I want that to stand as a prime example. Go look at the video. Well, don't leave this one because I need you here, but go look later at my Cy Stebbins comment section, and you'll see a very long book thing with a teal deer. We resolved our issue, and it was respectful and wonderful. So it was great. I want that to be an example of what we do on this channel. I got some comments here. Let me go ahead and read these. I understand the weird feeling when a business is concerned. When I work with somebody's computer editing videos, I get a weird feeling when asking for money or talking about money. Yeah, you know what? The thing is in some ways, it's weird how it pops up. Because here's the thing: is I'm a businessman. I sell a product or service to companies to get them to, and then for an exchange of money, right? And I can't be shy about it because, well, that's how I feed my family. So I have to, I have to do it. It goes beyond, oh gosh, I hope they'll hire me, or and I'm going, no, this package will run you this, and if you want this, if you want a stage show, it's going to be this, and we need to have other things that I don't supply, like stage lighting and sound. Logistics, boom, 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 and then pay up. And it has to be that way because it's not a hobby for me. It's a career, and I have to be able to ask for money. But whenever it comes to you guys, it's a little bit different because I didn't start this YouTube channel as a business. I just realized that it does have the potential to turn into something where it could be a nice side income eventually, or even maybe a full-time job, which would be amazing. I would love that. But it's a little bit different for me, or a little bit maybe uncomfortable, because I don't want to wear out your guys' goodwill. You guys have been wonderful and excellent, and I've just enjoyed all of this stuff. And I'm afraid that if I move too quickly, that I'm going to alienate my base, and I really don't want to do that. But on the same point, I'm kind of hitting a limit with the kind of content that I can create with the funds that I have available. And so I want to keep getting bigger and growing and providing better and better content to you guys. But some of these things are expensive. I mean, heck, one of the big things that you wouldn't even think about is just being able to afford the time. Again, as a business owner, where I have to think about how I have to delegate my time throughout the day, whether it's how much time I can afford to spend on shooting and editing videos or coming up with new content. I work probably not on YouTube, but just on my private business, probably about, during a slow month, maybe 60 hours a week. But on during right now, we're getting like 80, 100 hours a week of me on the phones and sending out text messages and going to networking events and filling contracts and getting contracts signed and received and accounts payable. And it's a lot of work right now. It's a lot of work, and it's going to stay like this. Well, I'm a person of faith, so God willing, until probably about the start of the summertime, and that's whenever I start the wedding season, and then that's a whole thing, and then it goes, and then but right now is really crazy because we have all of these holiday parties for all these companies, and they wait later and later every year. It's kind of the opposite of how like stores turn out more like whenever they turn out a more earlier and earlier, you see like Halloween, and then like November 1st, all the Halloween stuff's gone and it's Christmas right away and all that kind of stuff. And people in retail are just, let's maximize our holiday seasons and the amount of time that we can keep people buying stuff. But whenever you work with a company, it's weird because, yeah, sure, I've got regular clients that I work with every year. But sometimes they fall off or they want to do something else. And then of course I've got people that I can refer them to, and that's great. And I have a relationship there, and there's still a process. I'm still working with those old clients in some capacity, even if it's just a referral. But new clients seem to wait later and later and later every year to book. And I know that probably the Black Friday or the Monday after is when everybody's going to start going, we don't have any entertainment. Oh my gosh, let's call it. I hope he's available. We're writing about it in December, but let's go ahead and call and see if they're available. And it just, it gets very difficult to keep up with that kind of pacing. So let me say all of that to say this. If you run a business, or if you decide that you're going to take magic professionally, or you're already taking magic professionally and you're having some struggles with that, some things you can do to really help is you can try to stay in touch with your contacts throughout the year, which I'm terrible about. I'm trying to get better. But, I have people who didn't even hire me, for a show, but they pinged me last year and I wasn't available or something, or I was out of their price range. And then they call me again the next year, or if you're smart, you'll keep track of that person and you'll stay in touch with them throughout the year, even though you weren't booked by them. And then 3 months before the event or whatever, you give them a holler, you give them a call or whatever, and say, hey, look, I know we couldn't work together last year, but hopefully we can do something this year. You guys are probably putting your show together or whatever. I'm available right now. I'd love to do it. Blah, right? And it's something I need to get better about. But it's cheaper to retain clients than it is to get new ones. And if you have clients that you stay in touch with throughout the year, you'll have a better idea of when you're going to be busy and when you're not. Instead of just waiting for the phone to ring, you can take an active step in making sure you're booked. So take that with you. And I missed my nose whenever I did that. Thank you. I'm reading this right here. I am talking to you. It has to be, and this is, I don't want to make this like another magic thing, but this is what the whole channel is about. If you're on stage, what's cool is that you can talk to 1,000 people, and if you do it right, you can make it feel like you're talking to each individual person. And that's an amazing skill, and it's something that is a beautiful, wonderful thing, because you are talking to that person, just that person. And you're just doing it 1,000 times all at the same time. But it's a very powerful thing to learn how to do. And it's why actually I fret to even say this publicly or out loud, because it scares me. It scares me the amount of work that it's going to be. And it's a bit of an unknown. So should I don't even know if I should talk about it. Oh, never mind. We'll talk about it later. I see I got like 5 people here. If you're here, say hi. I want to hear from you. So a question I want to ask you guys: what do you think about the shirt? This is my new Magic Minute T-shirt, available at Teespring. Links somewhere on a video somewhere. But this is a sample that I got just to kind of check out the quality. I'm really impressed with it. It's really nice, and I like it a lot. And I feel much more confident suggesting and pointing you guys over there. Of course, not everybody's going to want to wear the Magic Minute shirt. Some people want to represent, and woo! Thank you. That'd be cool. Tell your friends if you have Magic friends or people you hang out with into Magic, point them my way, because I really am trying to grow and reach more people and help people at all different stages. But besides just this shirt, I've also got some other really cool designs, and I've got ones I'm still working on, but some of them are like old Magic posters like Thurston and Geller and that kind of stuff. And then some of the other ones that I really like are like artwork from old Magic books, which just looks so killer. That's how they need to be made. If you're a magician, like that's the shirt you get. And again, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I was very happy with some of the designs that came out. Everybody seems to be the favorite. Favorite is the one that says adulting. Go look it up. It's really, really funny, very popular. So I'm really here, guys, to answer your questions and interact with you. I didn't have anything planned. I just wanted to come and say hello and do a friendly knock on the door of YouTube and say, hey, what's up? So, hey, honey.
Were you locked in here?
Uh-oh. I'm out on live streams, baby. I won't be too much longer. Do you need me to wrap it up?
Oh, I was
Sorry, Al.
going to ask you to help me with a chore, but you're fine.
Okay, I'll come see you in a little bit.
No rush.
Okay. That, guys, was my darling, beautiful, and angelic wife, who I owe my entire life and being and reason for waking up in the morning. And yeah, that's her. So I'm not ashamed to tell the whole world I'm in love. Her and I've been together 10 years too, and I still feel that way. Is that normal? Well, I don't know if it's normal, but I don't mind being abnormal if it is. We got something. You ever talked to Brian about how much work it has to get to where he is and whether it's worth it? Yeah, Ben, thank you for asking. Yes. Well, whenever I went down to Austin just back a couple of months ago, and we shot all those videos that you guys have been seeing on Brian's channel. Yeah, we talked about that at length because I told him, hey, look, I got this idea. I've had a YouTube channel and I've been gone for a long time, and I wanted to come back, and I want to come back swinging. Years ago, and if you go look at some of my older videos, you would not believe the amount of views I used to get on my videos. I used to get like 30,000, 50,000 views on a video, and I was actually a YouTube partner and was making a decent check for the time through YouTube for being an amateur, or for being a YouTube partner. And so I've already kind of experienced some of the success of having a good channel with lots of engagement. When I came back, you can imagine, after 4 years of not being doing that, most people had left, and it got to a point where whenever I would upload a video, I would struggle to get like 40 views in a month, and that was really it was tough. It was like, oh man, I just want to reach more people with this. I feel like I have something to say and I want to share, and it was really tough to see that I wasn't getting anywhere. And Brian's an old friend of mine. He has a lot of, we have a lot of mutual friends, and he used to be here in the Dallas area, or well, he's never been here. He's actually lived in Austin forever, but we have mutual friends here in Dallas. And I was first introduced to him through Diamond Jim Tyler, which if you're a regular on Scam Nation, you know all about him. Jim's lives a stone's throw away from me, and we get together quite often. In fact, he asked me if I could take him to the airport this weekend, and I couldn't because I had too much stuff going on. I had to take my mom to a thing, and I had to attend my nephew's first birthday this morning, so wasn't able to drop him off or pick him up. But yeah, we're very close, and basically neighbors. And he introduced me to him years ago. And went down there and I shot a video way back whenever I did a one ahead mentalism thing that I taught on his channel. And then after that, we stayed friends, but didn't really talk that much. And then when I was starting my YouTube channel back up, I was like, who do I know that's has a YouTube channel who's worked on it some, and that I might be able to ask some questions about. And Brian, of course, jumped to mind. So I called him up and he goes, yeah, man, why don't you, in his classic Brian, let me see if I can do it. Yeah, man, let's go down to the Austin, and then we can do I love him. So yeah, he invited me down for a week, and I stayed at his Modern Rogue headquarters and shot a bunch of videos with him. It was great. And during that time, of course, I got to ask him a lot of questions about, well, it was really cool because I got to sit in on a planning meeting that he was having for like new content and for a fundraising strategy that he recently had to do to help cover payment for the rest of the Modern Rogue headquarters and some other things. He released that founders program. I was there whenever he was masterminding that. And that was very informative and useful for me to be able to sit and talk with the producers and co-host, Jason Murphy, and Brian himself, and kind of see the overall plan and the masterminding strategy that he had for trying to move all these moving pieces. And then he was also doing stuff where he was, talking to me about his website, where he was, his retail or e-commerce site, and all these different things. And I still call him up and ask him advice. And yeah, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. The benefits are great. He is, and I've started to notice some of that, which is weird because I've been recognized a couple of times, and something I want to talk to you guys in a little bit. But here's the thing: is that I'm a professional magician for a living. There are ups and downs, and there are plenty of challenges, and it's been very difficult over the last 12 years that I've been performing professionally to just kind of push through and to say, you know what, no matter how hard this is, I've committed to making this my career and seeing it blossom and whatever. And I know it's going to take work. I'm going to have to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to have to get dirty. I'm going to have to work long hours, and I'm going to have to bust my hump to do it. And I'm going to have to prove myself to a lot of people constantly. But it's worth it. It's worth it in the end because I get to be a magician for a living. How cool is that? And so I've never been really scared of committing to an idea and following it all the way through. Steve Jobs, and not everybody's a big fan of Steve Jobs, but Steve Jobs said that you have to love what you do because that's the only thing that's going to give you the edge. Most sane people will quit long before because they're sane. But if you love it and you're passionate about it, that gives you just enough insanity to push forward and become extraordinary. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically the gist of what he wanted to say, or what he did say. And I believe that. And so I'm not afraid of hard work, and I'm not afraid of putting the time in. This is a long-term kind of goal, and it's not something that I'm just like, oh man, because I've only been back on YouTube for like 4 months. I did the math. It was like 4 months ago. That's the only time. That's all the longer I've been here. So I haven't been here for half a year yet. And so I'm like, yeah, it takes time to build anything good, and you have to lay a foundation. You have to get people like your wonderful selves, like Ben and It, and Gildus is on here a lot, and Roth Games. You guys come back every week, and you always comment and share, and are active, involved people in my community, and it makes me want to come back because I know that there are people who are waiting to see me come back. And so you go, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if something crazy happened and I didn't have a video prepared and it's Wednesday night at 2 a.m. I got people who are counting on a video Thursday at noon. And so guess what? You guys are going to get a video Thursday at noon because I've made that commitment to you guys. And so yeah, it does take a lot of work, but it's worth it if you're crazy about it. Then it's worth it. And it would be nice to have what Brian has. Brian has a wonderful, beautiful home and a fantastic lifestyle. It's super cool. It's not worry free. He's got to worry about a lot more than even I do. But yeah, the benefits he's received from that, I think he would say they were worth it. So yeah, Brian, Scam School is on Route 3. Super cool. Thanks. Yeah, Ben. I hope that answered your question. I hope so. I tend to ramble a lot, but again, I'm live streaming. It's just me. I don't have somebody to bounce things off of. So I'll give you the full story if I've got the time. Yeah. So Scam School was. So the thing is, I think Scam School was on Rev 3, and then if I know this correctly, don't don't quote me on this, but I think either Rev 3 was bought by Discovery or Scam School was bought by Discovery Channel. And then so Brian was basically an employee, or was the creator for Discovery. and that contract, I believe, just expired just recently. And so now as part of that move, I think he went from calling it Scam School to Scam Nation because it's fully his again under his creative control, and has a lot more control over what he wants to do and the type of content or tone that he wants to take on it. So that's why you've seen a shift or a change in the last few months. Yeah, I remember watching a lot of Rev 3. I remember the little bling, icon and all that kind of stuff. That was it was cool. I remember watching that. What was another show that was? I think it was on Rev 3. Was was the Web Drifter? Was that the show? The guy who would find like crazy real life Peter Pan or something, and he would find that person's web page and read all their stuff, and then he would go, you know what, we're gonna go meet him, and then they would get on the road and they would go over and they find the person who had this crazy web page up or whatever, and then interview him and talk to him. The only thing I found like that recently is Wang. I don't know if you guys have seen his channel, but it's great. He's got like Tales from the Internet and some other types of shows on his channel, and they're great. Wang is great. Let me see if I can pull up. I'm going to do it, guys. I'm going to see if I can find that. Let's see what that was called. Martin. I think the guy's name was Martin. Internet show Rev 3. Oh, that's not a good thing. Martin Sargent. I think that's the name of the guy. Martin Sargent. Internet. He had a show because he had a show on the internet. Was it? Oh, hey, and Brian Brushman was on Martin Sargent's Unscrewed. So I'm just looking at this right here. So yeah, there it is. But he had a show that I just loved. Let's see. I swear I'm looking. Oh god. He was on Tech TV. Yes. Okay, so you know who I'm talking about. Martin Sargent. He had what was this show? This was it Screensavers? No, it wasn't Screensavers. Web Drifter. It was called Martin Sargent's Web Drifter. I don't know if any of those videos still exist, but they're great, and you got to go check them out. And if you like that, go check out Wang's channel, because Wang is awesome. He's hilarious, and he does some content that, oh my gosh, like stuff. I'm not going to mention, but all kinds of crazy stuff on the internet that have become memes over time, and is kind of explores them in a deeper, more what's the word I'm looking for? Journalistic way. So it's great. Call for Help, the Screensavers. They all crossed over. Yeah, Martin Sargent's awesome. And apparently Brian Brushwood was on Martin Sargent's channel, or show. Maybe there's a long lost footage there. He was on Unscrewed in 2003. I think also was I think Banachek was also on Unscrewed or something. He was because I remember Banachek did a show with Martin Sargent. He was a guest on there, and that was awesome. I don't know. Go watch it. It's great. That's stuff to do after you watch me and my crazy bald self. Ooh. Look at you guys. Wow. I'm just blown away. Thank you guys so much for coming here and interacting with me. I wanted to do, if I'm being honest here, I wanted to do a live stream a lot sooner than the last one that I put up. But I kind of got my feelings hurt a little bit, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It was just like kind of a nobody wanted to come to my birthday party thing, because I love getting on here and talking to you guys. And I the last time I did a live stream, like nobody showed up. It was at a weird time, and I didn't really give anybody any warning, and I didn't give anybody warning now, but I was just lucky. If you heard at the beginning of this video, if you go back and watch this later, said yeah, if nobody shows up, I'll just delete this and whatever. Because last time I showed up, no one was here. Nobody showed up. I was online for like 15 minutes, and it was just me. And I felt like, oh, okay. I guess nobody wants to be my friend tonight, so I'll just go. So I got my feelings hurt a little bit, and it took a little bit of courage to hit that live stream button again today. But I'm glad I did because you guys are here, and I'm super happy, and I'm glad to be interacting with y'all. So, Call for Help is now a YouTube channel. Well, I'm gonna go have to watch it because I love that I just love Martin Sargent's thing, especially like early internet, like Angel Fire and GeoCities websites. They were all crazy stuff that you could find. That was the wild west of the internet, and I miss that time when you never know what you'd find. Back when eBaum's world was still funny and not necessarily copying everybody else's content. That was nice. Back in the day. While we're here, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. But let me see. I'm gonna, since you guys are here on my live stream with me, I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek of what Thursday's videos is about, because you guys decided to take time out of your night and come talk to me. So if you're here, you're going to see a little preview of that. And I'll just show you just briefly. I'm not going to go into too much because there wouldn't be any point in watching my video on Thursday. But I'm going to be talking about these guys. These guys right here. Are they magic props? No. But these are props. These have been with me longer than any gimmick that I own. And I think I like them more than any gimmick. They're more indispensable than any gimmick that I own. These are some of my favorite tools in Magic, and I never leave the house without them. I love them so much. So and I mentioned in the video too, I'm not sponsored by the company that makes these. I just love the product. I just think they're wonderful, and not enough magicians know about them, and that's a sin because they're amazing. And so I'm going to be covering what these are and what they do and why I think they're awesome and why you need them. Again, I'm not sponsored by the company, and I don't even have affiliate links for these. I won't get paid at all for whether you pick these up or not. But I want to show those to you. So I think you'll really like that. I hope you'll really like that. And then the following week, because you guys are here, I'll tell you, the week after this one, I'm going to be doing. Oh, Ben, poof. Let me tell you, they're really good. They're not made by a magic company. These are pens, but they're so good. Thursday at noon. If you're not subscribed and hit that bell icon, make sure you do that, because otherwise you might miss out. Might be late to the party. And then the following week, I'm going to be talking about out to lunch principles. Out to lunch. That might be a new term for some of you guys. I'm trying to still figure out who my channel consists of mostly. I know a lot of you guys came over from Brian's channel, which is fabulous. And as much as I like to say that I know Brian's entire back catalog, I can't possibly be sure that this hasn't appeared on Brian's channel in the past. But I have a lot of different things I want to talk about with it. It's a really cool thing that you can use for I wouldn't say animations, but you can do it. Use it for appearances, disappearances, transformations, mentalism, a bevy, with a capital B, a bevy of different effects. And so, wow. See, so it was a smart idea to go on Brian's channel. Then that's what that means. I'll take all the credit for that. I'm brilliant, and I'm a strategist, and I figured all this out because I used my brain. No. I'm so glad you guys are here, and I'm thankful that you are, because my channel is very different from Brian's. Okay, all right, I'm digging this. I'm going to respond to that. But Brian and my channels are very different. They're complementary. But they're very different. And I think that before, like I was talking about with the director's commentaries, the difference is on Brian's channel, he's got this kind of format set up where it's like, hey, here's the trick, here's how to be a badass, all that stuff. And then my video goes, okay, well, let's talk about the art form and let's talk about all this florid language and all that. But digging deeper into it, and the stuff that really makes it magic. And so we're complimentary. I think we help each other out, and so I like those commentaries. And I'm so glad that it says that it was after I replied to his message. Well, see, that makes me feel good, because thank you. Please leave it wherever you can. If you can't, I don't know if you can leave it in the chat comments. But if you can't leave the link there, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter if you're not already, and you can send it to me in one of those, probably Twitter, and that way I can get that, because I really like to see that. Yeah, but again, this is a community, guys. This is about connecting with each other. And the thing is I don't know how many of you guys have ever been to a magic club. I used to be a member of the Dallas Magic Club, and then they had their meetings on a night that I always worked, and so I was never able to go anymore. And I still have a lot of friends there that I made there, but the thing is, I always felt like it was very difficult to make the meetings, because they always had them on a weeknight. And what I usually do is I try to go to the bar with them afterwards. I try. It doesn't always work. In fact, it hasn't worked for about a year and a half. But it's good to have relationships with other magicians. Though I stay in a pretty much a nutshell, I don't watch a lot of magic or other people perform it. It's not because I don't love magic, but it's because I don't want to be influenced by other people's routines and accidentally. There's a I can't remember the term. Funny enough, but there's a term that refers to forgetting where you saw something, and then eventually you just kind of like over time just kind of start to think that it was your idea first, and that's a bad thing, especially in magic or in stand-up comedy or that kind of stuff. You don't want to steal people's stuff. The language. Okay, so Ben, I want to ask you about that, because I'm reading this here. The language of magic is super interesting. Could you? If you could, I'd like you to elaborate on that, because I want to talk about that. I have a direction that I think you're going, and I want to go to, but I want to make sure we're on the same page. Oh! I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Ew. Trying to shift my fat butt and I move my desk. Sorry. Well, sorry. The show is the screensaver. Same host as the call for help. Okay, I'm still gonna look it up. I want to see it. I used to love all those shows. I used to watch the Tom Green show. You guys remember that? The Tom Green show, where he decided he was just gonna make his own TV show and is on the internet. Okay, it remembers it. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that it's jargon, man. It's magicians, of course, because we have our own group. I mean, it's like any group you go to. I for me, when I work, as a magician for all these different companies and stuff, and I'm doing all these different types of shows or stage shows or walk around shows for all these different types of companies. So I don't work just with like financial institutions, or just with lawyers, or just with automobile manufacturers, or soda water, whatever. It's lots of different industries, and I found that everyone has their own language or their own jargon. And magicians, of course, are no different. We have to we don't call it tricks, we call it effects. Right? We call them effects because it's the effect that it has on the audience. But that's a magic only thing. A double lift, I'm sure that means something else to some other industry, but maybe it's like whenever you use one forklift to lift up another one because you can't get high enough with one. I don't know. But those terms are specific to magic, and they will tell you a lot. And that's what they call them. That's what they call them. Magicians call them effects. If you look up old magic books, for this effect, you'll need a da-da-da-da. You'll need a handkerchief and a banana and a diamond ring. I'll look up words Penn uses that is more accurate. It is more accurate, yeah. Because, the other thing is I think that, because a trick is kind of, I think, likened to a stunt. because here's what I would consider a trick. I would consider juggling a trick. And no offense to any jugglers out there. I think you guys are amazing, and I feel small and insignificant when I see you perform. But that's a trick, right? This I would consider a trick. It's a stunt. What is it? You teach dogs tricks. You teach them how to sit, lay down, roll over, that kind of stuff. Beg. It's tricks, right? But if you want to talk about magic as the impression that you leave on a person, it's nobody cares if you did a double lift and then laid the card down and then snapped your fingers and the card changed. Nobody cares about that, and that's not magic. Magic is the effect that you have on your audience and how you resonate with them, how you connect with them as a human being, and how you affect them emotionally. Yeah, so I think effect is a much better term. I think tricks is, but of course we use those interchangeably. And to the public, tricks is commonly what's referred to. Why is magic important to you? Magic's important to me for some of the reasons I've already said, but because I like people. I actually genuinely like people, and I used to be extremely shy. And I talk about this in my Boomerang director's commentary a little bit. And I didn't realize, this is an aside, but I didn't realize how much of myself I would actually put into videos. I always thought, there would be a little bit of a wall or a guard, but I've been sharing a lot of myself on this channel, and it's been cathartic to kind of just, here's these stories, or here's these things that nobody knows about me, and things that I can share with other people who might be having the same thing, and maybe my story can help them. And so I'll get over my uncomfortability and just talk about it. But magic's important to me because I used to be extremely shy, and once I started doing magic or forcing myself to, I liked the idea of it. I liked the wonder and the awe and the amazement and the kind of looking like a superhero in real life. That all appealed to me as a young person. And then realizing that I could use these tools to get to know anybody and talk to anybody, and that it was able to break down walls and barriers between race and religion and gender and background and worldviews. Creeds, it doesn't matter. All that stuff kind of falls away, and you get to see the real person. And being able to have that back and forth, or that I don't want to call it a soul touch, but that's kind of, I guess, what it would be like. I have people, and it's allowed me to do some amazing things. It's allowed me to go to amazing places and provide for my family, and scratch that itch that I have for attention. Clearly I have it. Seeking out, talking to 3,000 people every week, and presumably more in the future. But what it really allows me to do is it allows me to commune with a person on a deeper level than most people get to see. It's kind of like whenever, I don't know how many people here play The Witcher 3, but you get that extra delusion mind thing that you can do to unlock extra, dialogue options. That's what magic allows me to do in real life. I get to unlock different dialogue options. I get to. That's why I like it. That's why I think it's important. I want to reveal a video for the diamond ring, banana, and handkerchief trick. Well, I don't think that can be played on YouTube. You might have to go to a different website for that. I'm the type of person that wants to know how it's done. Well, so does everybody. People love knowing how. People like solving mysteries. I'm always reminded of, every time I see somebody who wants to know how the secret's done, it reminds me of, I'm gonna let my nerd flag fly, but reminds me of Jean-Luc Picard on the holodeck whenever he's playing Dix, the private eye, and he said, "People love a good mystery. People find mysteries irresistible, that we want to solve them. Well, why do you think we're trying to get to Mars? And we're trying to unlock the secrets of the universe and the beginning of it and where it might go, and the meaning of life and where that came from. And these are all mysteries, things that are not revealed to us, that we're compelled for some reason to seek out. And I think that's why we got to where we are as the dominant species on the planet, is because of our curiosity. It's dangerous, but it also is it's equally our greatest strength and our greatest weakness. So what is one of your most memorable magic moments? Oh, well, something that happened to me pretty recently, actually. So there is a Hindu holiday called Diwali. It's a holiday of celebrating the overcoming of light over darkness, and it's a religious holiday. And I got hired recently to go perform at the Cotton Bowl, which is a large sports stadium where we have the State Fair of Texas every year. And I think there was supposed to be something like 500,000 people or something or more in attendance at this Diwali festival that was held. I'm so sorry. I keep bumping that, guys. I'm so sorry. So we were supposed to go to this. So I did the show. And it was something that I wasn't used to doing. I don't do a lot of it anymore, but I used to street perform, but it's been a long time. It's been 15 or 16 years since I've street performed. I found more comfortable ways to make money in shorter amounts of time, so I don't do street performing anymore. But this was a street performance kind of gig where I would have a table and I would build crowds, and then I would perform for large groups of people at a time, and then I would let them all dissipate. I'd reset, and then I'd go and I'd do the show again. I keep starting to try to start a show. It's very similar to trade show work, though, in that you're trying to stop people, build an edge that they call it, and then that initial 2 or 3 people will draw a larger and larger crowd. Anyway, it's a family show, right? And so I have this little girl come up, and I'm doing this gag funny thing. This is actually from Dan Harlan, one of his Pax Flat plays huge or plays big videos, but he does this thing called Balloonatic. And I just love it, and I use it in shows when I'm performing or when there's children present, because I just love it. It's not really magic, but you do like this thing, you do this basic balloon thing. You just fill up the, 260s, they call them, 2 inches in diameter by 60 inches long. And you hand out a bunch of them, and then you just kind of cover the kid in all of these balloons. And you go, look, it's a giant octopus, and it's eating Sarah. Ah! And then you grab all the balloons, and you very quickly twist it into a giant octopus, and then you chase, you run it around the stage, and then you do battle with it, and then it's just a cute, funny way to fill a few minutes. But I had this little girl come up, and I'm save names for privacy and all that kind of stuff. But I had this little girl come up and was my helper, and she was doing a great job and laughing and having a wonderful time, and got the octopus, and she was laughing and was chasing around. And then, that was then she, took the balloon home with her, and I did a couple of other tricks, and then concluded the show. Family left, and about an hour and a half later, they are walking back by where I had my table set up, and the mom stops. The father and daughter keep walking ahead, and the mom comes back and comes and talks to me. She says, "Hey, I wanted to thank you. That meant a whole lot to us." And I said, "Thank you, but what?" And she says, my daughter is extremely autistic, and I don't see her smile. I don't see her laugh. I don't see her interact with other people or do anything like get up in front of a group of people like that and did what she did. And so seeing her behave that way was a rare gift, and it meant so much to her father and I. Whew, what do you say to that? Oh my God, right? And that's the transcendent power that magic has. It allows you to really touch people on deep levels that no one else can. It's such a gift to be able to see those parts of people and do something to really affect their lives. It's not just like I don't want to talk bad about other magicians or anything, but I think that the culture in magic, at least in popular media, is that I'm gonna freak your mind and I'm gonna make you run away screaming and I'm gonna rip off my hand and it's gonna crawl up your back and poop on your head or whatever. And I don't feel like magic is something that you do to people. It's something that you experience with people. And this stuff is just the stuff. This is just the excuse. But you will be amazed at the kind of connections that you can have with people, real connections you can have with people that it's so sad most people don't have. Most people don't commune in that way. And if I think we all did, the world would be a lot better place. Thank you, Ed. I'm going to check out that DM on Instagram. Intoxicary, true or false? The length and thickness of a magician's beard directly correlates to his skills in the dark arts. Yes, and I have a little beard, so I suck. No, I grow the beard not because it's popular and because everybody's got that lumberjack beard and all that stuff, but it's because I don't know if you noticed, but I don't got a lot of hair up here. In men's style, this is an old thing, but the idea that if you don't have much hair up here, it's good to add hair down here because it draws the eye downwards and makes the face look more attractive. That's why I do it. If I shave my beard and I'm bald on top, then I look like a little weird baby thing, like an adult baby. And so the beard is to show I'm of a certain age and that I don't look like some kind of weird, creepy, hairless thing, So that's why I grow the beard. This beard, I would love to, but the thing is I have to keep it a certain length, at least right now, because I do have I do magic for corporate events, and there is a limit to how long I can have my beard before it becomes something that becomes an unattractive quality to have. The corporate market is extremely different from other types of magic. Like I love Chris Ramsey and I love Spidey and I love all these guys that got these kick butt channels and do some really amazing stuff, and I just love those guys. Oh gosh, his name escapes me at the moment, and I feel like a dirty turd. Oh gosh, he's the British guy. You guys help me out here. The British guy. He's got the very thick accent, and he's got all the tattoos. And crap, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he's cool. I like him too. And he's got a big beard too. The thing is, though, you have to have a certain look if you want to work consistently in a corporate environment. You have to look like the people in those environments do, whether or not it's fair or right or whatever, or if it's judging somebody on their appearance or whatever. The fact is that if I had facial, if I went in looking like Post Malone, who I also love, but if I went in like Post Malone, I would not have a very successful career in magic. Nobody would let me through the door. I would find it very hard to get myself hired for events. You have to look like the people there do. You have to act and be, mannerism and in dress and in conversation. The more chameleonized you are, the easier time you have. And so I can't grow it out too big. I used to have hair. And then it called me ugly and ran away. Robin, Robin pointy hat. Do not take me as some cheap conjurer of tricks, or something like that. Frodo Baggins. Yeah, Post Malone did get his name from a name generator. I heard that story. I think he was doing like an interview on, it was like the Late Show or the Late Show or something like that. And I heard that. I love Post Malone. I think he's great. I love his music. I think he's a genuine person, and I like everything about him. But yeah, I came up to a comment here. Said earlier, that's become the common way to think about magic. Yeah, magic goes through phases and it changes, and every generation has some new magician that kind of helps shape how magic is thought about for that generation. Thurston was big, Keller was big, Houdini, of course, kind of issued in a new way of more large stunt and fanfare and all that kind of stuff. And then you had people like Mark Wilson with Magic Circus, and then you had Doug Henning, and then you had people like David Copperfield, and then David Blaine, Chris Angel, and now we have I believe it's Justin Willman. It goes through generations and changes, and it reflects the society in which it exists. And if you look at the society right now, everybody's pretty negative. Everybody's crapping on each other, and we're very tribal. I won't get into politics here, but we're very us versus them on everything. And if you don't believe exactly what we do, you're part of the problem. And I think that's a really bad way to look at stuff. I think how does it solve anything? If you were divided in half and you say, well, we need everybody to work together to solve the problems that we have. But you know what? If you can't get with us, then screw you guys. Well, then you've just lost half the people that you need to solve your problem. You guys need to work together, right? Even with differences of opinion, right? Find the common ground and then you agree on what needs to be fixed and what you need to do, and then come together and do it. But we all no, this person did that. Well, it's getting crazy. So if I'm going to leave a mandate with you guys, I'd say, hey, look, take care of each other. we only got one life and we're in it together. You're my neighbor. What happens to me happens to you, and vice versa. So let's work together. It's a far better way to work. Hey, there it is. I always get preachy when I get on these things, but here's the thing. I'm going to tell you guys a secret wish of mine. That it is that I do stage shows, and I have a platform in which to speak, and I put a part of myself into every show that I do, in patter and in presentation. I've done a couple of speaking engagements over the past couple of years that have been pretty successful. And this is different than just a stage magic show. This is mostly speaking, delivering some kind of message or thought or whatever, and then using magic or mentalism or whatever it is to help illustrate the points that I want to make, as a way to reveal deeper truths. And it's something I've really enjoyed. And it's also something I wanted to do more and more of. And I'm thinking that I'm going to start transitioning into doing more of that, into becoming a speaker. And this is a heck of practice, because I can talk for an hour basically without stopping, and it's no big deal. Unscripted. Magicians are good at talking out of their butts forever, but I would agree. Here's the thing: is that magic can be really wonderful for Instagram follows, and if you have a goal in mind, if it's not just about a popularity contest, but like say for instance for me, I'm not very popular on Instagram. I treat it as a way to interact back and forth with you guys, but I don't use it for business. But if I did, what I would do is I would probably do more magic in my Instagram if I was using it for my private business, because magic is perfect for that. It's a visual art form, and that's all people are looking for is the flashy magic thing. It can be a really great way to send clients to my channel or to my contact information and book me for shows and that kind of stuff. So the thing is, though, I don't like to do magic that I can't do in real life. I don't like to do magic on screen that I can't do in real life. I think that you should be able to give people, and maybe I'm wrong about that, and maybe I need to think more about it before I just say something. But I think people who there's some stuff from Sans Minds I really like, but I think we're all talking about Sans Minds magic here. I think that I love their vapor unit. I loved it. Unfortunately, mine broke, but I love that sucker. And they've also put out some other good solid stuff that I liked. But they do have a section which is just like, hey, this is just magic just for video, one angle. And it's really pretty. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I've got to think about it. Find you through Scam Nation. This is JNC Milliker. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Found you through Scam Nation. I'm not a magic person, but your video presence and friendliness found me hitting the subscribe button. Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Hey, well, thank you for being here, and I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate your subscription, and hopefully, I'll provide some kind of value to you in your life. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Intoxicary. Some of my favorite magic videos I've seen on YouTube have been of street magic. You use the same trick multiple times in different people. Very entertaining. Could you do some of those? Intoxicary, yes. I think that I was talking about this before you came live or it came online. That's something that I'm working on. Talk a little bit about the monetization of my channel, not through YouTube ads, because they don't pay anything, and I'm not actually going after YouTube ads because they're actually, unless I'm PewDiePie or Markiplier, it's going to be really hard to make a living just off of YouTube ad revenue. I think a lot of people don't understand how little you actually get paid for that. But I've been doing stuff like my t-shirts, which you can find over at Teespring /The Magic Minute, I think is what it is. I have a link in one of my video descriptions. I want to do more of that stuff, but I have to hire people to do that. I have to hire people to I'm going to actually have to hire people to come and film the video. I'll be my camera person and audio person, boom guy, and probably more editing and stuff, because that's a heavier edit. And the thing is, my time is limited. Unfortunately, I can only do one video a week, and I have to really cram it in there. It's very difficult to even accomplish one video a week right now. So I'm probably gonna have to pay a whole production team to put that together, and then I'll be able to do a voiceover or little clips in between of me talking about what works and what doesn't and why this happened and what have you. Or the other alternative, which is cheaper but still expensive, would be to get a DJI Osmo Pocket, which is a little camera that you can actually wear on your person. And then I could film that way and film kind of like a chest view or kind of like my perspective POV to an audience. And that could work too. But the thing is, I don't have the monetary resources for that right now to do that. It's something I really, really, really want to do. And it was one of the first ideas that I had of something I would like to feature on my channel. But it's super tough without money. So I don't have a Patreon. I don't think I'm going to do one of those for quite a while because I want to make sure that's something that I'm providing real extra value to you guys if you decide to do that. But I do have these T-shirts for sale, and I do get a nice percentage of that, which helps. And all the money I make right now is going back into my channel. I'm not going out and buying iPads and new sneakers and stuff. Any money I make through the YouTube channel goes back into the YouTube channel, and it will for a long time. But things like that, things like my Audible sponsorship, which, of course, I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about that, but I get paid on subscription. Like when people try out the service, that's how Audible thanks me. But it's not just like I get paid a flat fee already and then that money goes in. I have to bring people in to sign up for me to get anything back from that. And of course, I've also got my T-shirts and Amazon affiliates. But Amazon affiliates, you make so little unless you sell a lot too. I'm trying to find ways to monetize the channel that's not really annoying to you guys, so I can afford to do those kinds of content. So I'm uncomfortable talking about that stuff. I don't like asking people about money and that kind of thing. But that stuff, if you guys are interested in that stuff, hey, that would help out a whole lot, and it would go directly towards helping fund those kinds of projects. There's room for all. I like Lynn's effect. He uses a lot of smoke for the effects. Cool shirt. Put more links on how to buy it. That would be cool and unique. Have you an old GoPro? They make a chest harness. How about a GoPro? Go bigger, get bigger. It's true. Yeah. So yeah, here's the thing. Yes, they do make old GoPros, but the problem I found with old GoPros, and in fact, I have one. I have a GoPro Hero 3. I think that's 1080p, but the problem that I have is twofold. One, it's the amount of shake in the video. There's no stabilization. It's 1080p kind of, and it does not have a very good sensor in low light. And it is not something I experimented with that for a while. That is not something that looks like something I would feel comfortable sharing on the channel. So I'm looking at like a DJI Osmo Pocket, which has built-in stabilization and gimbal and that kind of stuff, and is easy to mount, and you can wear it on your vest or your shirt or whatever. And has better autofocus on it because that's another problem you have. Anyway, there's all kinds of issues with using an older one. And if I bought a newer one, I might as well just buy the Pocket because it's cheaper than a GoPro. GoPros are expensive. So yes, I have looked at doing that, but keep up the subscriptions, stuff you trust and work it in with a magic trick, a story and tie it in, and it's entertaining people will stick through it. Yeah. I think most people aren't as bothered by commercialization than you think. Well, I think that the sense is like, for me, I can only know my own mind, right? I can't possibly know the mind of another person. I can guess at what they might think, but I can never know for sure. And for me, I understand that YouTubers, to create content, they need money. They need that they're not owned by some giant conglomerate like you would see with a television show, and that everything is self-funded. And so yeah, I understand that people need to make money, and I don't get upset whenever I have to watch a commercial for Audible. I'll take that back with one exception. There's only one channel that I watch where I go, it's a little heavy, and that's Linus Tech Tips. I love that guy. He's got so much valuable content, and I find him fascinating. And he's great channel. Love Linus Tech Tips. But I feel like he's very heavy. He's like, and by the way, today's sponsor is brought to you by, and I'm like, oh my gosh, but he does it like 4 times in the video, and I'm just like, ugh, oh my gosh, I can't watch another commercial. Can't watch another one. So I don't want to do that to you guys and I still go back to him, and I still, when I can, whenever there's something that I want, or from his channel or whatever channel I'm watching, a trial membership or whatever, I always try to sign up for it because I know it does help out the creators. Okay. That's my wife. That's my darling, gorgeous, beautiful, angelic wife, who I love with all my heart. She's told me to wrap it up. She's got other stuff she's got to do. I'm actually in the bedroom, so she's got to go to bed. Guys, I think I think I'm going to have to close it down here. I think my wife wants to go to bed. It's 10:30 here locally anyway. Let me ask you this before I go. If you would, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up on the video, because that level of engagement, I mean, that you guys have been here for an hour helps a lot, and all those comments help too. But thumbs ups also help to push this content to more people. I have to fight with YouTube's algorithms to prove that I have a channel that's worth something and that people like. So thank you guys. I just saw you did. I really appreciate that. Love y'all. Thank you. And there are links for the t-shirts. If you want to pick one up, it'd be awesome. I'd love that. There's a lot of different models, not just this one, but a lot of other cool stuff, little magical stuff. I have links in my most recent video on the size 7 stack. I have those listed there, and I'll make those more available. Those links will be in every subsequent video, and whenever I upload this video, I'll tag this one with it too. If you want to pick one up, it does help a lot. So I would really appreciate it if that's something that you want to do. Maybe your friends, family, the holidays are coming up. That would be, perfect for you, perfect for me. That would be great. Thanks, Roth. You guys are great. This is why I do this. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are the best, really. I hate to do this, but I love my wife and she loves me, and I've got to go take care of her and make sure that she's happy, because she's my wife. So I'm going to have to sign off, guys. Thank y'all so much for being here and listening to me ramble for an hour and a quarter. I had an amazing time with y'all, and I can't wait till we do this again. And I hope that you guys like my video on Thursday. And leave your comments and questions and suggestions for future videos, because, the thing is, I can only guess at what you guys want to see. The only way I know for sure is if you tell me. So if you got an idea for a video, I want to hear it. I want to know what kind of content you guys want to see, because that's the kind of content I want to make. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you all very, very soon. Cheers.